Everyone wants to be successful. We want to be known, respected, and to make a difference. However, success almost always requires you to put yourself out there, whether it's sharing your ideas online, speaking up in public, or starting a business. And ironically, that's the very thing we are terrified of. We dream of influence, but we fear exposure. We crave growth, but we avoid discomfort. This is the paradox, and what we want the most is often hidden behind what we fear the most. But what if I told you there is a way to overcome that fear? Not by magically getting rid of it, but by learning to act despite it. In this video, we're going to look at 4 things. The first, what does it mean to put yourself out there? The second, the fear that stops us. The third, why it's important to push past this fear. And the fourth, how to overcome this fear. So, what does it mean to put yourself out there? To put yourself out there means choosing to be visible, vulnerable, and actively share who you are, what you think, or even what you create when it feels uncomfortable. It's about showing up publicly, intentionally, and often before you feel ready. Whether it's speaking up in a meeting or publishing that video or launching a project you've been sitting on for a long time, it's the decision to stop hiding and start sharing. It means being seen and sometimes judged, but doing it anyway. But there is something that keeps stopping us from putting ourselves out there, and that leads to the question, what are we afraid of? For most of us, the fear of putting ourselves out there isn't about failure, it's about judgment. What will people think? What if I embarrass myself? What if I'm not good enough? It's a mix of the fear of rejection, the fear of being misunderstood, and even the fear of success, because success brings attention, pressure, and a whole world of new expectations. And here's the thing. These fears aren't irrational. It's completely human to feel this way. Our brains are wired to treat social rejection as a threat, and studies have shown the brain to process rejection in the same area as it processes physical pain. It literally hurts, and for good reason. That's why your brain starts sending protective messages like, play it safe, don't take the risks, don't make a fool of yourself, blend in, and don't stand out. While these might have helped you avoid embarrassment once upon a time, they are the very things that are holding you back from what will make you grow. Things like sharing your ideas in public, starting a new business, or simply stepping into unfamiliar spaces. So if you felt that anxiety before, know that it's completely okay to feel this way. Most successful people felt this way before they achieved success, and many still feel this way despite their success. Your brain is just doing what it thinks it's supposed to do, but you don't have to let it run the show. If you've ever thought about making a video but you never hit record, or stayed quiet in the meeting when you should have said something, or even talked yourself out of launching a project or a business idea, this video will help you move past that fear. Because if you want to grow, create, or make any kind of impact, you have to be willing to be seen. Now, why should you even put yourself out there in the first place? When you put yourself out there, you give yourself the chance to be seen. And that's where growth starts. It's how opportunities find you. It's how the right people, ideas, and momentum start showing up. Take Steve Jobs, for example. In the mid-2000s, phones were boring, clunky, button-filled, and basically all looked the same. People were buying them, so no one wanted to change the formula. But Steve Jobs wasn't interested in what was working. He was interested in what was possible. He had a vision, a phone with no keyboard and just a screen, and an internet communicator all in one. And the thing is, no one asked for it, and people were satisfied with the way phones were at that time. But Apple built it, and it didn't just change the company, it literally changed the world. And when it was time to launch, they didn't just do it quietly. They transformed it into a cultural movement, setting the stage for the iconic Apple events we see today. And who stepped on the stage to reveal it to the world? Steve Jobs. He didn't just build the vision, he put himself out there to share it, because he knew to lead, to inspire, to change the world, you have to be willing to be seen. Then there's MKBHD. He didn't start with a lot of followers or fancy gear. He was just a teenager filming tech reviews on the webcam from his bedroom. No brand deals, no viral moments, just curiosity and consistency. He kept showing up, and video after video, he built trust and he built an audience. Today, he has over 20 million subscribers and a team working for him, and runs multiple businesses. He didn't wait to be the best. He started and let the process make him better. And this can be your story too. You don't need to be famous to begin. You don't need the perfect moment. You don't need a polished plan or all the answers. You just need the courage to show up even when no one is watching. But let's be honest, that first step feels really scary. The fear of being judged, the fear of getting it wrong, the fear of not being enough. This fear keeps most people stuck. But you don't have to wait for the fear to go away. You just have to learn how to overcome it. And this is why the next thing we'll talk about is how to overcome the fear. Overcoming fear doesn't mean it disappears. It means to be courageous despite that fear. Like Nelson Mandela said, I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. The first step to becoming courageous is to change your mindset. When I started making YouTube videos, I had all the insecurities you can think about, physical, psychological, you name it. And I know I'm not alone. We think the whole world is watching our every move. We tell ourselves, oh, they won't listen to me. They will notice every mistake I make. They will see my flaws, my voice, my face, my awkwardness. But here's the truth. People don't care as much as you think they do. You probably know successful people who have clear flaws. Maybe they are awkward or bad speakers or kind of weird. But they show up, they do the work, and we respect them for it. And that same grace applies to you. No one is paying attention to your flaws the way you are. Now, after changing your mindset, the next thing to do is to go ahead and start. You don't need an MBA to start a business. You don't need the best gear to start a YouTube channel. You don't need to be the best speaker to share your ideas. You just need to start, period. Hit record, register the business, speak up. The small, consistent actions build momentum and confidence. And here's the twist. You don't become confident first. You become confident by beginning. You don't become good at something overnight. You get good by doing that thing over and over again while making incremental improvements along the way. And what if you fail? That's not a problem. It's okay to fail. Failing at something means you tried in the first place. Failure isn't the end. It's feedback. Learn, adjust, and try again. Or pivot if you need to. By pivot, I mean try a different thing or try things differently. Every success story has a pile of failures behind it. The difference is that they didn't let those failures stop them. So if there's one thing I want you to take from this video, it's this. You don't have to be fearless. You just have to be willing. Willing to show up. Willing to try. Willing to be seen. Because like they say, fortune favors the bold. That's all for now. If this gives you something to think about, drop a like and maybe subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.